What's up YouTube? Today we're back with another video and I have something different. I have my official ranking for the top 20 greatest football players of all time. I was debating whether to make this like a top 50 or top 100, but I feel like past the top 20 players can just move up and down depending on preference. So top 20, I feel like no one can really argue with these players. Maybe like one or two, you know, maybe move them about. But yeah, comment down below if you agree with me. Comment down below who I'm missing or if I'm wrong or if I'm right. So let's not talk too much. Let's get right into it. I'm wearing one of my favorite Chelsea kits of all time, the 2021-2022 season. And unfortunately, I don't think there's any players on this list from Chelsea. But we'll make a different video and maybe we can rank the top, you know, Chelsea players of all time or something like that. But starting off, number 20, I have Lev Yashin. Now, the reason I feel like you have Lev Yashin in the top 20 is because, well, he changed the way goalkeepers are. Like, you know, he was like the OG, you know, like the original guy. So you can't really not put him on this list. And the reason I have him over the likes of Neuer or Casillas is just because he's won a Ballon d'Or. You know, what other goalkeeper has won a Ballon d'Or? Exactly. So he has a whole award named after him as well. So you kind of have to put him in. Number 19, I have Iniesta. Iniesta, I feel like, you know, one of the greatest centre mids of all time. No debating. He has the accolades. He was nominated for the Ballon d'Or. He's never won the Ballon d'Or. But, you know, him in that midfield with Xavi and Busquets. And honestly, just Iniesta, what a player. I feel like you have to include him. You know, even though he doesn't really have like all of the accomplishments that he could have, you know, like the individual ones, he still deserves a spot in the top 20. 18, I feel like many people would disagree with me on this one, but we've got a top 2 striker of all time, Luis Suarez. Now, the reason I'm having Luis Suarez quite high, I feel like people wouldn't put him in the top 20. But the thing is with Luis Suarez, if you know football, the guy just does his job perfectly in the era of Messi and Ronaldo who won a Golden Boot. Like, already as it is, that is a difficult accomplishment because Messi and Ronaldo were winning them year in and year out. And just apart from that, you know, Champions League winner and, you know, just everything. Like Suarez, what a goat. Like, what a player. Just top 2 strikers of all time, no doubt. Maybe Loki could even argue him to be the best striker of all time. I feel like number 18, he deserves to be number 18. Number 17, we have another striker and we have Marco van Basten. Van Basten, I have no doubt, would probably be higher on this list if he had no injuries. Now, I never actually watched Van Basten play. You know, I'm too young to watch him play. But accomplishments speak for themselves. He's won the Ballon d'Or, what, 3 times? Like, I've seen highlights, match highlights. Like, he was a player. And what, he retired so young as well, like 28 or 29 or something like that. Yeah, at that age, the accomplishments he had, low-key had potential to become the GOAT. You know, he did. But injuries happened, and I feel like number 17, you know, is a good spot for him. Number 16, I would argue the greatest centre-back of all time. We have Sergio Ramos. I don't think people would put Sergio Ramos this high on the list, but hear me out. Ramos may not have the individual achievements like some other players on this list, but he's a World Cup winner several times, Champions League winner. Honestly, as a centre-back, what more do you want from a centre-back? He's got that, you know, leadership as a captain. Like, he's got all the traits, you know. He's a goal. He can score goals as well. He's got that lethal header that you need, like off a centre-back from a corner. Like, Ramos, honestly, I would say he is my favourite centre-back of all time. And I would put him in as the best centre-back ever. But since we are doing the greatest, not the best players, you know, per se, I feel like there are other players which rank above him just because of achievements. So, not to say that Ramos doesn't have achievements, but I put him at number 16. Number 15, we have the legend, Kaká, who got absolutely just demolished by Speed the other day in that charity game. But yeah, Kaká, what a player. Like, I feel like Kaká's a player where I don't know where to put him. Like, he's just so good, like, as a player. Like, does he rank higher? Does he, like, where do you put him? Like, Ballon d'Or winner, honestly, like, just talented like hell. You know, Kaká, like, I don't know. Honestly, I feel like 15 is just a good place for Kaká. Like, he is in the top 20, no doubt. I don't think anyone argues with that. But I'll put him at number 15. Number 14, if you're unhappy with my Ramos statement, this will probably make you happy. Paolo Maldini. A lot of people will argue saying he is the greatest centre-back of all time. And hey, I hear it. Honestly, you can't deny it. World Cup winner. He's honestly just, you know, one of the greatest centre-backs of all time. Like, accomplished as well. Honestly, Maldini, you know, I would say achievement-wise, maybe he does beat Ramos by a little bit. That's why he is a bit higher than him. But honestly, both centre-backs are amazing. And I've got Paolo Maldini at number 14. And I don't think anyone can argue with that either. 13, I have Alfredo Di Stefano. Di Stefano is a player which I wasn't too familiar with not that long ago. I'll be honest. He was like a player which you see on FIFA, you know, you might see some icons or you might have heard of him before. But once you know, like dive in a little bit, do some research, Di Stefano, he kind of has to be up here. You know, he's like one of the OGs from back in the day, you know, goal scorer, Real Madrid legend. Yeah, Di Stefano earns his place on this list. And I feel like no one can really argue with that. Number 12, we have Gerd Müller. We're not talking about Thomas Müller. The Gerd Müller, honestly, one of the greatest strikers ever. Same like Di Stefano. I wasn't too familiar with him. But after doing some research, Bundesliga top scorer of all time, Ballon d'Or winner, won the World Cup with West Germany and everything. Yeah, like Müller deserves, one of the greatest German players of all time. Definitely deserves to be on this list. And you could argue him to be, you know, a few places above, I guess, than he is. You know, I put him at number 12. Some people might rank him in the top 10. But I put him at number 12 and I feel like that is a fair place to put him. Number 11, we have Michel Platini. Platini, I feel like, is one of the most underrated players ever. You know, considering he was a midfielder, you know, not that, during that time anyway, you know, when you talk about like Ballon d'Or winners and stuff, midfielders don't really get that recognition they deserve all the time. And Platini being a Ballon d'Or winner, and honestly, just starts, if you just watch him play as well, like watch his highlights, it just speaks for himself. You know, he is like one of the greats of all time. And, you know, a lot of people, I feel like, don't give him recognition just because he did play in the 1980s. But I feel like if you know ball, Platini definitely is somewhere near the top 10. Some people might even put him in the top 10. Starting off our top 10 strong, we have what I would consider the greatest German player of all time, Beckenbauer. Beckenbauer is honestly like, he has to be top 10. I feel like he has to be top 10 because what other centre-back do you know which has won the Ballon d'Or several times? None, no centre-backs. Honestly, Beckenbauer, World Cup winner, Ballon d'Or winner, all the achievements to go with. And you know, like, you know, there's revolutionary players that just sort of revolutionized their position. Beckenbauer was that guy. Like, he was like the first of the first, you know, that really like made that centre-back position what it is. One of the greatest CBUs of all time, no arguing. And Beckenbauer, number 10. Number 9, we have Puskas. Buddy has a whole award named after him. You know what I'm saying? Like, Puskas as well, one of the OGs, which I feel like nowadays people wouldn't give that recognition. You know, I never watched these players play. But if, you know, you dive into like the archives, you watch their match highlights, you look at their achievements and everything, like, yeah, Puskas deserves to be on the list. Like, striker-wise, one of the greats of all time as well. So, no denying that. Puskas at number 9. Number 8, I feel like people might want to rank this person higher. I have a feeling. But at number 8, I have Zidane. Now, Zidane, one of the greatest centre mids. Probably people would rank him the greatest centre mid ever. Well, is he a centre mid? He's more like an attacking player as well. Thing is, Zidane can play anywhere in the middle. He's just a beast, a powerhouse, got skills. He's big, technical, Ballon d'Or winner, World Cup winner, Champions League winner, every accolade to go with him. Zidane at number 8, I feel like, if anything, I'm putting him lower where Danny deserves. But I feel like that's a fair place. And I just want to quickly mention, I did mention at the beginning, the way I am ranking these players, some of these players I am just ranking of not necessarily all of the achievements that they have, but also like the type of player they are. Like, you know, sometimes a player might be amazing as they are, but their achievements might not speak for themselves, but you know, that their quality ranks them higher. So if you know what I mean, you know what I mean. Number 7, we have what I would say the second greatest Brazilian ever. We have Ronaldinho. Ronaldinho is honestly like one of my favorite players of all time. Like, Ronaldinho, what a guy. I feel like people don't even give him the credit he deserves either. They say, oh, you know, who's better, Neymar, Ronaldinho, him or him. Honestly, Ronaldinho carried that Barca team. Like, you know, when Messi was like growing up, he was still a little boy, you know, it was on the rise. Ronaldinho was carrying that team. Ronaldinho, like, Ballon d'Or winners. Like, all of these guys, you know, I don't want to keep on going on about the achievements that they have. But yeah, like, they have those achievements. Ronaldinho, like, if you just watch him play as well, like, come on. Who wants to mark Ronaldinho? Like, that guy, every time you watch his highlights, steps on the pitch, he's just having fun. He's just rolling through the players, just walking past them. He's got shooting, he's got playmaking, he's got everything. And no one can argue, I feel like, with Ronaldinho being at number 7. Sometimes I would rate him a bit higher, but I feel like number 7 is a good spot for him. Number 6. I feel like people would say he deserves to be top 5. But we have Johan Cruyff. Johan Cruyff, one of the most influential players ever. Changed the game for what it is. You know, the reason why we have some of the greats that we have today, has a whole school move named after him. Ballon d'Or winner, won the Euros, won the World Cup. Hey, like I said, achievements speak for themselves. You watch him play, there's not many highlights. Well, there are some, but if you watch him play, like, you could just tell he was ahead of his time. And yeah, Johan Cruyff, like one of the OGs, you have to put him up there. I have him at number 6. Starting off the top 5, we're going to start off strong. And we're going to start off with what some people call the father of football. We have Pele. Now, the reason I am ranking Pele where he is, I just feel like the players above him just individually are better, like individual better players, and they have a better and they have like similar achievements or better achievements. But Pele at top 5, like honestly, you could put him, rearrange him anywhere. I would say from like 5 to 3. Won several World Cups. He's never won a Ballon d'Or because he never played in Europe. But just achievement wise, like come on, you have to put Pele in top 5. Like if you don't put Pele in top 5, people are just, you know, talking about recency biased, about, you know, like recent history and stuff, and aren't really giving credit to the OGs. And Pele, I feel like, has to be up there. So we're starting off Pele at 5. Number 4. I know I just said Ronaldinho is a top 2 Brazilian of all time, but low-key, if you want to match with Pele, I put, well, some people would call the original Ronaldo Nazário. This guy, honestly, I know some people will disagree, saying, but he doesn't have the achievements to be up so high. He doesn't have this, he doesn't have that. I understand. But if you've seen R9 play, if you've seen, I mean, I never watched him live, but if you look at his match highlights, go on YouTube right now. Look at the 98 and the 02 Brazil squad, and look at what Ronaldo was doing. Go look at Ronaldo's, R9 Ronaldo's Inter highlights. Go look at his Barca highlights. He's everything you want from a striker. Earlier in the video I said Suarez is a top 2 striker. The reason I say top 2 is because R9 is there. You know, you could argue which one's better, but you know, R9's won a Ballon d'Or. So that puts him above Suarez, I guess. And the thing with R9 is clinical striker. He's got pace, he's got dribbling, everything, flair about him. Like, come on. R9, greatest striker of all time, barred with Suarez. I would rank him higher than Suarez. But yeah, R9, some people might disagree with this. I feel like R9 without injuries would have been the greatest player ever. But it is what it is. We are getting to the top 3 players of all time. And we're going to kick off number 3 with Diego Maradona, who is arguably the most talented player of all time. Maradona has to be top 3. He has to be top 3. Like, I feel like it's disrespectful if you don't put Maradona top 3. Like, just look at him play. Look at him. He just runs past people like it's nothing. Like, bro. If you've seen what he's done with the Napoli team when he came to Napoli, he carried them on his back. Everywhere Maradona played, he carried. Maradona deserves to be in the top 3. He's got the achievements. The player he is, like, just speaks for itself. And honestly, no arguing with that. We're getting to the top 2. I wonder who the remaining 2 players may be. We're going to start off with number 2. The second greatest player of all time. No doubt, Cristiano Ronaldo. People might say he's number 1 or this. Alright, I guess that might be a preference, but Ronaldo, wherever you put him, he deserves to be in a top 1 or a top 2. You know, no other place. Because then it's just disrespectful. You know, CR7, he has all the achievements, he has all the records. Like, do I need to speak more? What, 5 Ballon d'Ors, 5 Champions Leagues, he's got a Euros, the amount of goals he scored, he's done in several leagues. Like, what a player. Like, what a player. Like, I don't think anyone's denying or arguing with this. I've got Cristiano Ronaldo number 2. And let's move on to number 1. The GOAT! The number 1 player of all time. We have Eden Hazard. No, I'm joking. We don't have Eden Hazard. But we have Lionel Messi. Hazard is a similar player to Messi. But Messi, honestly, I feel like it's no doubt at this point. Messi is just the greatest player of all time. Just everything you look at, stats, playing wise, everything Messi. Messi has everything that you could possibly dream of. He's achieved everything. He's done everything. As a player, he can do everything. One of the greatest, maybe potentially the greatest goal scorer of all time. If you look at his like conversion rates and whatnot. The greatest playmaker of all time. Greatest dribbler of all time. Just, he's got everything. Most 8 Ballon d'Ors. World Cup. Several Champions Leagues. Like, hey, stats and playing just speak for themselves. And like I said, some people might put Ronaldo over Messi or Messi over Ronaldo. But there's no denying that both players are top 2. I would disagree with any other list if they don't have Messi or Ronaldo at number 1 and number 2, because they deserve to be number 1 and number 2, regardless of what order you think they go in. But I feel like it's undeniable that Messi is the greatest player of all time and he is number 1. So that was my top 20 greatest football players ever. Like I said, greatest. We are considering achievements and just like, playing wise and everything. If we just want to talk about the best technically ability wise, or like just the best technical football ability players of all time, I can make another list. And that list will look very different to this one. So if you want me to do that, I'll be happy to do that. Or if you want me to make any more rankings, I'll be happy to do so. Other than that, if you did enjoy the video, make sure you drop a like, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and I will catch you all in the next video. Bye bye.